I'm sure there were plenty of teams going for your services, DeWanna, so why was this the right opportunity for you?
I just feel like it was the location for one. My kids are literally right up the road, and I've spent a lot of time away from them, so that and the core that they have here now is just kind of want to fit in, and be another piece to the puzzle, and hopefully bring the energy dynamic and take us to a different level in the playoffs.
DeWanna Bonner's debut interview with the Indiana Fever is already making waves, and it's easy to see why. She's joining the team with a laser-focused goal to elevate them to new levels of success. But there's one player in particular she's eager to connect with. Imagine Bonner, her eyes filled with excitement and drive, talking passionately about the Fever's future. And as she does, one name keeps lighting up the conversation: Caitlin Clark.
My first game in Indiana, we gotta get a win.
You're probably wondering what makes this interview so special. Well, it's not every day that a seasoned WNBA pro like Bonner gets this fired up about teaming up with a rookie. But that's exactly what's happening here. And believe me, you'll want to hear what she had to say about Clark and the bright future ahead for the Fever.
We're hungry. I think we're a hungry group, so I'm just excited to get out there with everybody and get the final roster, because I'm pretty sure there's more things in the works in free agents. So I'm just kind of sitting back and waiting, but I can't wait for April 27th, this training camp. I got to mark down and get out here with everyone and set our goals and what we want to do.
Bonner's making this move to be closer to her kids, just down the road. But don't think for a second that's all there is to it. She's got her eyes on something much bigger. After seeing the Fever's young core light up the playoffs last season, she's eager to be a part of that fire. She's ready to help take this team to the next level. Can you feel the buzz building? Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does Bonner bring to the table? Well, here's the thing. She holds the record for the most playoff minutes in WNBA history. Yep, you heard that right. She's bringing that championship mentality to Indy, and she's not holding back.
What excites you the most about this team that you're going to be joining?
I mean, they have dynamic pieces in CC and Kelsey Mitchell and AB, Lexi Hall. I mean, they have a great core, so why not just add to that and try to take us to the next level in the playoffs. They were in first round, and I played against them in the first round, and the way they came back the second game, it just makes you excited to, okay, I want to be a part of that. They didn't lay down and quit. They came back and actually tried to beat us early, that next game.
But hold up, there's even more. Bonner is absolutely fired up about joining this Fever squad, and it's all about the heart and hustle she witnessed last season. She couldn't stop raving about how impressed she was with the team's fight. She said, "I want to be a part of that." They didn't lay down and quit. It just shows a lot about their character and how hungry they are.
They kind of went on this crazy run, and they were the most well-gelled team at that time. They went from the bottom straight, and they just kept trending. And it was like one of those teams you're like, man, you don't want to really see them in the playoffs. So we got the matchup, and I think our experience helped us very well. But that second game, they came out, and it was like, yeah, they just kind of went on this trajectory that was just like on the rise, and it was literally Fever on the rise during right after All-Star. So that's exciting. That's exciting for me to see, and that kind of helped me with my decision.
Just picture it. Bonner stepping onto the court with this young Fever team. She's bringing a whole new level of experience and leadership to the locker room. This is the kind of move that has the potential to transform a franchise in an instant.
That experience to a young, maturing team, what can you provide?
I'm hoping that I can provide a little bit of leadership, but I feel like they're a team that last year helped them a lot and understand the dynamics of playoffs. It's a whole different ball game when playoffs come, and I feel like they're a young team, but they're a good team, and hopefully I can just provide the knowledge and explain playoffs to them a little bit better so we can be better prepared and don't get punched in the face the first game. And it's hard to come back when you do that the first game. It's hard to come back and try to win 2 straight against a veteran team. So I think they got it.
Bonner is genuinely pumped about the players she's about to team up with. She's seen what this Fever squad is capable of, and she's eager to help them unlock their full potential. It's like she's the missing piece of the puzzle they've been looking for.
How important was familiarity and those relationships as you're making this decision?
It's huge for me because I do have 2 kids and I want to be comfortable and I want to make sure that I'm going to be taken care of, on and off the court. So Steph just made it easy. I don't have to learn a whole new system in year 15. So that's huge. And I feel like they just put me in great positions on the court that makes me successful and took my game to a different level. And now you're playing with these dynamic players, and hopefully I can take my game to an even better level.
Now, let's talk about what this means for the Fever's future. Because with Bonner in the mix, the sky's the limit. She's been to the top, and now she's ready to guide this team there too. Having seen what it takes to win championships, she's bringing all that knowledge to Indy. Bonner's all about creating a winning culture in Indiana. She's here to help shape the franchise's future, and that kind of commitment can completely transform a team. But here's the big question. How will her leadership style impact the younger players? Will we see a whole new level of confidence from the Fever on the court?
I'm excited for them. I'm excited for this franchise. I think they deserve it. It's kind of crazy how you see how it happened in a year. You went from just a little fans in the stands to a sold out arena everywhere. Even on the road, it's crazy. I was telling Kelly, like in the playoffs, it almost felt like it was you guys' home game in Connecticut because there was so many fans that came out. So now just credit to them, credit to this organization, credit to this team, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
So, what does all this mean for Fever fans? Buckle up, because you're in for one of the most thrilling seasons in franchise history. Bonner's arrival is all about bringing in someone who can lift everyone around her. She's got the skills, the experience, and the leadership to push this team to new heights.
You're one of the most fiery competitors in the league. Caitlin Clark is already establishing herself as one of those. You two had a moment in the playoffs, but I know you feel like that moment actually shows how well you guys can fit together.
Remember that epic playoff battle between them last year? Well, turns out, that was just the beginning of something massive for the Indiana Fever. Bonner isn't just pumped to play alongside Clark. She's got a plan to turn her into an unstoppable force on the court. Can you even imagine Clark playing at an even higher level? It's almost too wild to think about. Let's break it down. Clark's rookie season was already off the charts. She was lighting up scoreboards and racking up assists like nobody's business. But here's where it gets really exciting. Bonner saw something special in Clark during that playoff matchup, something that most of us didn't even catch.
I think it's just 2 competitors going at it. It's the playoffs, so you're trying to get any way to win that game to get to the next round.
It wasn't just 2 great players going head to head. It was 2 fierce competitors pushing each other to new levels. Bonner even said, "I think it's just 2 competitors going at it." And now she's beyond excited to be on Clark's side instead of having to defend her.
Excitement to have you here.
I don't think I even need to hear it. You can just watch her game. I mean, everybody sees it. She's just a dynamic player, man. She's one of those ones that you come in and can make an instant impact, as you can see.
Bonner's not stopping there. She's ready to be Clark's guide through the WNBA jungle. She's talking about bringing her leadership and expertise to help Clark navigate the league with even more precision. It's like adding a turbo boost to a finely tuned engine. Clark is already incredible, but with Bonner's experience, she could transform into an unstoppable force.
Player, I'm happy to be on the side of her now instead of guarding her. Of course, she's a dynamic player, and you see that in what she's done in her rookie year. And I'm actually excited to see what she's going to do her second year in the league with a little bit, more experience and understanding a little bit more.
Think about it. Bonner has been there, done that when it comes to playoff basketball. She knows exactly what it takes to win at the highest level. And now she's passing that wisdom on to Clark. It's going to make Clark's job on the court easier, and that's bad news for every other team in the league. Bonner is genuinely fired up about Clark's potential and can't wait to see what she does next season. This isn't just some teammate hype. It's a veteran seeing something truly special.
Like I said, hopefully I can make her job a little easier and she can make mine a little easier. But I think she's a great person, and we, been kind of connecting here. We had a great workout this morning and it was fun.
And get this, Bonner dropped another bombshell saying, I just think she has another level that everybody should be excited to see. It's like Bonner has glimpsed the future of basketball, and Clark is the one leading the way.
I'm excited to step on the court with her. I play with a lot of great players, so to also continuing to do that, and I'm just so excited to see where her second year is going to go. I'm excited. Her first year was insane. You don't see too many rookies come in and do that, so yeah, I'm excited to see where.
But it's not just about Clark's individual success. Bonner is focused on the bigger picture, the future of the Indiana Fever. With Clark leading the way and Bonner there to guide her, this team is on the brink of becoming a force to be reckoned with. Imagine what should have been a landmark celebration for A'ja Wilson, a night of honor and triumph, turning into a whirlwind of anger and frustration. Instead of basking in well-deserved accolades, Wilson finds herself stewing not over being overlooked, but because Caitlin Clark is hogging the spotlight. While Wilson's jersey retirement struggles to sell out, Clark's event boasts seats that command prices north of $11,000. This begs the question, is Wilson's discontent warranted, or is it merely a shadow of envy? Let's delve into the reasons behind the muted buzz around Wilson's legacy and explore why Clark currently reigns as the undeniable marquee name. A'ja Wilson's jersey retirement was meant to be a jubilant tribute, a salute to her stellar impact on South Carolina basketball and her commanding presence in the WNBA. Yet instead of reveling in this well-earned honor, she's left feeling not just frustrated, but outright furious. And it's not due to any misstep by South Carolina or an internal blunder. It's because Caitlin Clark is stealing. Anger isn't aimed at the jersey retirement itself. It's aimed at what it symbolizes. She's noticing the stark reality. Tickets going for as little as $16 and still failing to sell out. Instead of being the grand celebration it should be, her ceremony is falling woefully short of the fanfare it deserves. Then she turns her gaze to Iowa, where Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement has ballooned into a blockbuster event, with tickets fetching over $11,000. Fans are scrambling for seats, and the buzz is undeniable. That stark contrast stings. Wilson has long been hailed as one of the premier faces of women's basketball, with a resume boasting MVP awards, championships, and even an Olympic gold medal. She's no stranger to accolades. South Carolina has gone so far as to immortalize her with a statue, an honor few athletes ever receive. And yet, when it comes to the buzz surrounding her jersey retirement, the numbers speak for themselves. Fan interest is lackluster. Wilson might claim the timing is off, or argue that Caitlin Clark is unfairly hogging the media spotlight. But at the end of the day, the reality remains unchanged. Caitlin Clark has become the bigger star, a fact Wilson struggles to accept. This isn't a debate about WNBA triumphs versus college success, or a contest of who has a more decorated career. It's about who truly captivates the audience. Right now, Clark is the catalyst for growing interest in women's basketball, while Wilson, despite her impressive achievements, seems to be fading into the background. Wilson's discontent didn't emerge overnight with this jersey retirement debacle. For years, she's been vocal about the broader issues plaguing the WNBA and women's sports in general, lamenting disparities in pay, viewership, and sponsorship. To a degree, her concerns are justified. Women's sports have historically battled for mainstream recognition, but then, along came Caitlin Clark, reshaping the narrative entirely. Clark's games are consistently selling out arenas. Her performances are smashing TV ratings, and she's drawing enormous crowds wherever she goes. More than just a skilled player, Clark is a bona fide entertainment powerhouse. Even those who wouldn't normally tune in to women's basketball find themselves captivated by her presence. Her unprecedented media attention underscores her appeal, a stark contrast to Wilson, who finds herself wondering why her legacy isn't eliciting the same level of adoration. Despite her championships and WNBA dominance, Wilson is being sidelined in the race for fan love. The key difference? Clark has an innate ability to connect with people, a magnetic charm that goes beyond raw talent. Wilson undoubtedly has elite skills, but Clark's energy, passion, and relatability make the game feel more inviting. Instead of exuding a chip-on-the-shoulder demeanor that can alienate casual fans, Clark's charisma draws them in, making them feel like they're part of something much larger. In contrast, Wilson's intensity often translates into a sense of entitlement, which can inadvertently push fans away rather than win them over. A clear reflection of this divide can be seen in how both jersey retirements are being celebrated. Clark's event is nothing short of a historic spectacle, with fans clamoring for tickets and willing to pay sky-high prices. Wilson's ceremony, however, seems to be ticking off an obligation rather than igniting a movement. It's not a case of media bias or orchestrated favoritism. This is purely a reflection of where fan interest lies. The crowd is choosing their heroes, and at this moment, they've placed their bets on Clark. Wilson's frustration is palpable as she watches her moment being overshadowed, witnessing the undeniable disparity in demand. Deep down, she's aware that Clark isn't just a fleeting phenomenon. She's the future face of women's basketball. Despite the WNBA's efforts over the years to spotlight Wilson, backed by the league, the media, and industry giants, the excitement simply isn't there. Meanwhile, Clark has effortlessly built her own following, and that organic appeal is something Wilson can't ignore. Instead of letting bitterness fester, perhaps Wilson should take a page from Clark's playbook. She might ask herself how to forge a stronger connection with fans, how to become more accessible and engaging both on and off the court. Basketball isn't solely about statistics and accolades. It's about creating an emotional resonance with the audience. And right now, the difference between the two women is like night and day. While Clark eagerly embraces her role in the spotlight, Wilson appears to resent being deprived of what she believes is rightfully hers. Wilson has undoubtedly earned respect through championships and individual honors. Yet, the love of the casual fan has eluded her. This is why the treatment of their respective jersey retirements couldn't be more different. While Wilson's frustration is understandable, the blame ultimately lies with her. If she aspires to be remembered among the all-time greats, she must realize that true legacy in basketball comes from forging a genuine connection with fans. A connection that, at the moment, belongs to Caitlin Clark.
It's that time. Harvest.
You guys, everyone wants me to cry today. No way. Oh.
Have you ever witnessed a basketball star tear up over someone else's triumph? Well, Asia Wilson just did. The WNBA champion was seen in tears, but not for the reasons you'd expect. It's all in response to Caitlin Clark's emotional jersey retirement announcement.
I was like in tears, y'all.
You might be asking, what's all the fuss about? Don't players have their jerseys retired all the time? Well, not like this. Caitlin Clark's retirement ceremony is already setting records before it's even happened. Meanwhile, Asia Wilson's fans are crying foul, suggesting Iowa orchestrated this to steal the spotlight. But what spotlight? Iowa likely didn't even know when South Carolina planned Wilson's ceremony, especially since she graduated nearly a decade ago. We've got the facts, the timeline, and fan reactions that tell a different story. Let's break down why Wilson's tears are flowing and how Clark is once again changing the game for women's basketball. February 2nd, 2025. Don't forget that date, because it's about to become legendary in women's basketball. 2 players, 2 jersey retirements, but only one is stealing the spotlight like a supernova. Caitlin Clark and A'ja Wilson, both revolutionizing women's basketball in their own ways, are set to have their jerseys retired on the same day. But that's where the comparison ends. Clark's ceremony at Iowa is generating a buzz that's completely overshadowing Wilson's South Carolina event.
Iowa taking on USC and Juju Watkins. Nationally televised game, I believe. February 2nd, 2-2, so it's 22. Everything about it lines up.
Let's talk numbers because they're crazy. The cheapest ticket to see Clark's jersey rise to the rafters is over $700, which is the most expensive ticket in women's basketball history. For some perspective, this price tag is even steeper than the cheapest ticket to an NBA Finals game. And if you're aiming for the best seats in the house, you'd better have a thick wallet, with tickets going for over $8,000. Meanwhile, you can catch a seat at Wilson's ceremony for just $25. No, that's not a typo. We're talking about a price difference more than 28 times higher for Clark's event.
But that is a supply and demand thing, especially in today's day and age where there's no such thing as a sellout, right? Where you can go to any event you want as long as you're willing to pay for it because of the secondary ticket market.
Social media is blowing up with reactions. This isn't just about ticket prices. It's a game-changing moment for women's basketball. The demand we're seeing now was unimaginable just a few years ago. Clark's final home game shattered records with tickets reaching $450. But now that feels like pocket change compared to her retirement ceremony. What's unfolding here is Clark reshaping the entire landscape of women's basketball. She's not just rewriting the record books on the court, she's breaking barriers off it. Clark has become a cultural icon, drawing in fans who might have never tuned into a women's basketball game before.
I'm leading scorer in women's college basketball.
But wait, there's more. This story is far from over. What does Wilson and her team have to say about this, you may ask?
One of the sentiments that was expressed was, oh, it's the same day as A'ja Wilson's. How could you do it? First of all, I remember them announcing A'ja Wilson was getting her jersey retired, but I didn't remember the date or anything. When the Clark news broke, I didn't think about A'ja Wilson. And again, as is the case with Caitlin Clark, this only is going to bring more attention to A'ja Wilson's jersey retirement.
As ticket prices for Clark's ceremony soared, another kind of inflation was taking over: online outrage. A'ja Wilson's fans aren't just upset, they're convinced a conspiracy is at play. But what if the real story is even more explosive than they think? The social media storm ignited with Wilson's supporters crying foul over the timing of Clark's jersey retirement. One fan didn't hold back, tweeting, "Why would y'all retire her jersey on the same day as A'ja Wilson? Are y'all stupid?" This sentiment echoed across social media, with Wilson's fan base feeling like their star was being overshadowed by the Clark phenomenon. But here's where it gets interesting. The timeline of these announcements tells a different story. Iowa didn't just pull Clark's jersey retirement out of thin air. They revealed their plans back on April 11th, 2024, right after the NCAA championship game.
And yes, Clark did get a standing ovation when Iowa's athletics director announced that the university will retire her number 22
that number
jersey.
holds a lot of weight, far beyond my name, and I guess I'm just really grateful, and it'll be a special day when that happens for sure. Thank you. It's been very special, and this place will always be home to me.
South Carolina didn't unveil their plans for Wilson's jersey retirement until October 2024, 6 months later, folks. Wilson's fans are saying they're not Clark fans, so why should they care about Iowa stealing the spotlight with their announcement? Why can't both players be honored on the same day?
First of all, there's nothing wrong with two schools retiring respective jerseys on the same day. But secondly, if you wanted the focus to be on A'ja Wilson, she'll probably get more attention as the second, most recognized jersey retirement of that day than she would have if she had the stage all to herself on that.
So why are Wilson's fans so certain that Iowa is trying to steal South Carolina's thunder? It all boils down to the meteoric rise of Clark's popularity. Iowa's athletic director, Beth Gutz, put it bluntly, Clark's accomplishments have made a lasting impact on the university and on women's basketball. They weren't responding to Wilson's announcement. They were celebrating their own superstar. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Why did it take South Carolina so long to honor Wilson? One fan pointed out the obvious. Why did it take a decade for South Carolina to retire A'ja's number? How is that Iowa's problem? It's a fair question. Wilson graduated in 2018, yet it's taken until 2025 for her alma mater to retire her jersey. That's not on Iowa, that's on South Carolina.
And South Carolina waited years and years to retire A'ja's jersey.
The conspiracy theories are running wild, with some of Wilson's supporters convinced that Iowa deliberately picked this date to overshadow A'ja's moment. But let's think this through. Iowa chose a date that aligns with a high-profile game against USC, featuring rising star Juju Watkins, which was already set to be nationally televised. Plus, Clark's jersey has been hanging in Carver Hawkeye Arena for months. Everyone knew it was coming. How could Iowa possibly know when A'ja's retirement ceremony was planned? No one even knew about it until Clark made her announcement. This isn't about stealing anyone's spotlight. It's about maximizing exposure for women's basketball as a whole.
And then there was, Iowa is rushing this. They're rushing, or everything is rushed with Caitlin Clark. No, she just did things faster and garnered more attention and more notoriety and celebrity and celebration and popularity.
Here's what's hilarious. Some fans are actually asking for Wilson to move her date. One tweet put it bluntly, tell A'ja to move her date. Then the face of the WNBA is retiring hers. Show some respect. It's a stark reminder of how quickly the landscape of women's basketball is evolving. So what's really happening here? Is this about disrespect? Or is it simply a changing of the guard in women's basketball? The facts don't back up the conspiracy theories. Iowa's plans were in place long before Wilson's announcement, and they're just capitalizing on Clark's massive popularity. But here's the twist. There might be more to A'ja's reaction than just the jersey retirement itself. Is this truly about the ceremony, or could it be a deeper feeling of jealousy?
Apparently, there's a WNBA player named A'ja Wilson. Apparently, she's pretty good. Caitlin Clark brings it down, goes twice between her legs, step back, jack. A'ja Wilson doesn't like that. A'ja Wilson isn't smart enough to understand that everybody's going to get fat because of Caitlin Clark. Everybody won't get fat if they keep bringing up the ridiculous, idiotic, and tired old notion of racism.
A'ja Wilson has ignited a blazing storm of drama, challenging Caitlin Clark in a manner that's capturing everyone's attention. Is this the fiercest rivalry in WNBA history? A'ja Wilson, a 3-time WNBA MVP, has been unstoppable on the court with astonishing stats and consecutive outstanding seasons. She's undeniably one of the league's greatest athletes. However, A'ja isn't just letting her performance speak for itself. She's making her presence felt loudly and clearly off the court as well.
A'ja Wilson, who whined and moaned and continues to whine and moan that Caitlin Clark is only popular because she's white, couldn't be more.
In a recent intense interview, A'ja Wilson made some significant statements that are stirring up the basketball community. She didn't just challenge Caitlin Clark. she alluded to a more profound issue that's been simmering beneath the surface for some time. Caitlin Clark, the emerging star and generational talent, has dominated both college basketball and the WNBA spotlight. With her electrifying performances and bold attitude, she's become the center of attention. However, A'ja isn't on board with this. Why is Caitlin Clark receiving all the attention? My achievements last season alone surpass her entire career. And if that wasn't enough, A'ja went a step further by claiming that the primary reason Caitlin garners so much hype is because she's white.
Hey, look, we love Steph Curry as a black man because of how he plays. We don't give two craps about Steph Curry or Caitlin Clark being white, black, green, or purple. When in doubt, yell racism, and when in doubt, look stupid doing it. And the latest is this moron named A'ja Wilson.
A'ja Wilson has ignited a full-scale drama, publicly challenging Caitlin Clark in a way that's sparking widespread conversations. Could this be the most intense feud in WNBA history? A'ja Wilson, a three-time WNBA MVP, has been unstoppable on the court with impressive statistics and back-to-back stellar seasons. She's unquestionably one of the league's premier athletes. However, A'ja isn't just letting her on-court prowess speak for itself. She's making her stance known loudly and clearly off the court as well. A'ja didn't stop with Caitlin Clark. She also brought Paige Buchers into the conversation, with Paige set to join the WNBA soon. A'ja is already asserting that she's not getting the spotlight she deserves because she is a black woman. Her frustration seems to stem from feeling overlooked, questioning why her MVP seasons, record-breaking performances, and championships aren't making her the face of the league. But here's where things get wild. A'ja suggested that Caitlin Clark should face a lifetime ban for what she described as a lack of respect for the game and its pioneers. What does that even mean? The internet exploded. Fans are taking sides, with some agreeing that race plays a role in media narratives, while others believe A'ja is going too far. Here's what she had to say. I think it's a huge thing. A lot of people may say it's not about black or white, but to me, it is. It really is, because you can be top-notch at what you are as a black woman, but yet that's something that people don't want to see. They don't see it as marketable, so it doesn't matter how hard I work. It doesn't matter what we do as black women. We're still going to get swept underneath the rug. That's why it boils my blood when people say it's not about race, because it really is. Players like Breanna Stewart and Diana Taurasi have reportedly weighed in. A'ja Wilson is the queen of the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is box office. The debate over A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark isn't just about stats or accolades, it's about what defines greatness in the WNBA and who deserves the spotlight. Is this frustration rooted in jealousy and an inability to accept that Caitlin Clark has changed the game in ways A'ja never has? A'ja Wilson plays for the Las Vegas Aces, a team so stacked with talent that they could probably win games with half the roster. Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, and Jackie Young are not just supporting players, they're stars in their own right. With teammates like these, A'ja has the luxury of playing in a system that allows her to excel without carrying the entire load. In fact, if we're being honest, Kelsey Plum deserves more credit than she gets. Her playmaking, scoring, and ability to take over games make life significantly easier for A'ja. If Kelsey wasn't there to pick up the slack, would A'ja still be an MVP? That's debatable. It's worth noting that MVP stands for Most Valuable Player, not Best Player on a stacked team. Without Kelsey, A'ja's numbers and impact would likely shrink. So when A'ja claims she's the league's most valuable player, one has to wonder, valuable to whom? The Aces could probably still dominate without her, but the same cannot be said for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. While A'ja thrives in the league, Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA as the savior of a struggling franchise. The Indiana Fever had been floundering for years. a team barely making headlines and far from playoff contention. Then Caitlyn arrived. In just 8 months, she turned a forgettable team into a playoff contender. Her presence forced her teammates to elevate their game, and her leadership has been nothing short of transformative. Unlike Asia, Caitlyn doesn't have the luxury of multiple all-stars sharing the load. She's the sole centerpiece, carrying the team on her back while navigating the immense pressure of being a rookie in the spotlight. Asia might want to criticize Caitlyn's recognition, but she hasn't faced the kind of uphill battle that Caitlyn has in her first season. One of Asia's loudest complaints is about the awards Caitlyn has received. While Asia is proud of her MVP title, it's clear that Caitlyn's recognition as WNBA Player of the Year and Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year has struck a nerve. These accolades highlight Caitlyn's unparalleled contributions to the game, both on and off the court. Here's the difference. Asia's MVP is tied to team success. Caitlyn's awards recognize her individual brilliance and the broader impact she's had on the league. The MVP award is often debated, but Player of the Year and Athlete of the Year make one thing clear. Caitlyn's influence transcends basketball. She's not just a great player, she's a cultural phenomenon.
Asia Wilson 1, Nafisa Collier 2, Sabrina Ionescu 3, Brianna Stewart 4, Alyssa Thomas 5, and honorable mentions, Caitlin Clark.
Did you catch the latest WNBA bombshell? Caitlin Clark, the rookie powerhouse who's been dominating the courts and shattering records all season, has been shockingly left out of the top MVP conversation. But here's where it gets even more explosive. Asia Wilson, the current MVP, is furious. Why? Because fans and analysts are increasingly saying that Clark's incredible performance deserves the MVP title more than her. How did Clark, with her standout stats and game-changing impact, get sidelined like this? The controversy is igniting intense debates across the basketball community.
She is leading the WNBA in points generated, which means points scored and or points assisted on. She is leading the league by a significant margin, and she is doing this as a rookie with a Fever team that is not comprised of a bunch of all-stars.
Let's dive into the MVP rankings that are making big waves in the WNBA. Leading the pack is Asia Wilson, confidently holding the top spot.
There's no debating it. If you even talk about MVP, you have to be like, well, of course Asia Wilson's running away with it. Like, you cannot even have any kind of constructive conversation around MVP unless you preface it by saying, well, I already know that Asia Wilson won. Like, that's the standard.
Coming in hot at number 2 is Nafisa Collier from the Minnesota Lynx. Every time she steps onto the court, she takes full command of the game, leaving a massive impact on both her team and the opposition. Quiet yet lethal, Collier consistently asserts her dominance, making it impossible to ignore her formidable presence.
And Nafisa can take over the game at any point in time. We've seen her do this on multiple occasions.
Sabrina Ionescu is stubbornly holding on to the 3rd spot, even though some argue she doesn't quite deserve it. Behind her, Brianna Stewart and Alyssa Thomas secure their places in the top 5. But here's the real surprise. Where is Caitlin Clark? The rookie sensation who's been setting the league ablaze with her incredible performances is completely absent from the top 5. Unbelievable, right?
Getting to the honorable mention, they have Caitlin Clark.
You might think there's been a mix-up, but nope, that's exactly how the MVP rankings stand today. Their website even spotlighted Caitlin Clark with this statement.
While the Fever underwent understandable woes in the first month of the season, Indiana is 14-6 over their last 20 games, including 2 massive wins coming out of the All-Star break. Clark has found a synergy with her teammates and elite comfort on the floor as a facilitator and creator. She's knocking on the door of first-team All-W and top 5 finish in MVP voting.
Did you hear that? Caitlin Clark is just knocking on the MVP door? Not quite. Clark isn't merely knocking, she should already have a seat at the top. In fact, Caitlin Clark undeniably deserves a spot in the top 3 MVP contenders alongside Asia Wilson and Nafisa Collier, and the numbers leave no room for doubt.
Look at their stats. Asia wipes the floor with both of them. The only categories that she doesn't have are assists, three-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Caitlin has all of those. She is tied for steals with Nafisa.
Let's be honest, Asia Wilson was outstanding, no doubt. But rookie Caitlin Clark has outshined her in crucial areas like assists, free throw percentages, and three-pointers, even setting the assist record. Clark's on-court impact is undeniable, proving she's anything but average. So why is she being overlooked? It's got everyone puzzled. Some say it's because she's a rookie and the league prefers established stars. Others argue that individual stats don't capture the whole picture. This snub hasn't gone unnoticed. The debate is heating up, with voices like Rachel Demita criticizing the WNBA's MVP selection process. Demita points out that every time Clark elevates her game, the bar for her recognition keeps rising, making it harder for her to secure the MVP title she clearly deserves. Historically, only one rookie, Candace Parker in 2008, has ever won the MVP award. It feels like there's an unwritten rule against first-year players being the most valuable. But why? Are rookies seen as too inexperienced, or is there a bias towards veterans? Clark is challenging this by excelling not just as a rookie, but across multiple facets of the game. As Skip Bayless put it, nobody in the league can flick logo threes as effortlessly as Caitlin can. Clark is now pushing Asia Wilson for the MVP crown with her exceptional ability to control the game. While Wilson has secured back-to-back championships with a star-studded team, Clark is transforming the Indiana Fever. Before the All-Star break, the Fever were struggling with a 13-27 record. After the break, they flipped the script with a 14-6 run, thanks to Clark's leadership and stellar performances. She's not just scoring, she's elevating her entire team, leading them to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. When comparing Clark to Candace Parker, Clark is already surpassing Parker's rookie stats in assists, steals, three-pointers, and free throw percentage. Her all-around game is setting new standards, proving she's a game changer. Her impact on the Fever is clear, turning a struggling team into one of the league's hottest. Meanwhile, Asia Wilson shines on a team loaded with Team USA players and multiple All-Stars, making her achievements impressive but also supported by a strong roster. In contrast, Clark excels without the same level of star support, highlighting her individual value. The MVP debate in the WNBA is intensifying. Should the award go to the player with the best stats, the one who drives their team's success, or the one who's revolutionizing the game? Clark's season is forcing us to rethink traditional MVP criteria, blending individual excellence with transformative team impact. Caitlin Clark's rise is more than a rookie story, it's a revolution in the WNBA. As she continues to dominate and elevate her team, the question remains, is it time to break down old barriers and recognize the true value players like Clark bring to the league? The MVP conversation isn't over, and Clark is right at the center, challenging us to redefine what it means to be the most valuable player. What do you think? Should the MVP go to the player with the best stats, the one who boosts their team's success, or the one who's redefining the game?